Everybody say hello to Facebook family. Okay. Okay. Okay, officially beginning now. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. This is Reverend Felicia Parazaider. She, her, hers, they, them, theirs. What's going on in North Hollywood? Acknowledging the land of the Fernandino, Tataviam, Chumash, and the Tongva, and the Kizh people as well. So we are live on Facebook. We are recording this so you can watch this over and over and over again at your whim on our YouTube channel. You're all subscribed, I pray. Before we move any further, let us light a candle. And light 2, light 3, get wild with it. No, actually, bringing my energy in right now in a more contemplative way, please feel free to light a candle. I will be praying the way that I pray, recognizing that some of you may pray very differently, or you may not really pray at all. You may send good thoughts. Remember, it's all welcome here because we are multi-path at Roll, yes? And so it's all important and all invited at the table. Okay, my friends, so lighting the candle now. And recognizing that we are joining together from different parts of the country. I like that you all are using the chat, saying hello to one another. That is good. We are connecting in this way. And so we will take 3 deep breaths in a moment. Find yourself in a comfortable position. If it feels good to close your eyes, you may do so. And if you are able to feel your feet touch the earth, touch the ground, then you may do that as well. And so now, taking a wonderful breath in through the nose. And when you are ready, exhale. Completely arriving to this time, into this space, and breathing in. And when you are ready, exhale again. And on this next breath, breathing in, you can maybe form a smile on your lips if it so pleases you. And so breathing in. And then a luxurious exhale. Holy One, how good it is to be here. What a joy it is to be able to connect even through these wonders called Zoom. And so we give thanks. We give thanks for each and every person here, recognizing that we are connected in this way and that there is actually a thread, a cord that connects us and that reminds us to be kind to one another. And that in this kindness, we see one another truly holy, in a holy, holy way. May we come back to this place of kindness and holiness, this place of love tonight. May we have a fresh vision of how we can be better as a people, not better than, but better. God, I implore this of you. Meet us here. I ask you to meet us here, wherever people are at tonight. If they find themselves brokenhearted, if they find themselves in some kind of grief or in some kind of beauty, in some kind of gargantuan life challenge, however it is, somewhere in betwixt and between, allow your presence to truly be radically felt here, that we may be lifted up and reminded of that kindness and that love that is ever connecting us in a potent way. Blessings upon all religious circles, recognizing this Palm Sunday. And so churches all over the globe, as they've had their services today, and we recognize all spiritual centers, all places of worship, this holy month of Ramadan, and our Muslim sisters and brothers everywhere around the planet as well, giving thanks. May we connect with our global family. And so I release this word of prayer saying, and so it is. Amen, Amin, Ashe, Aho. And now Taylor X is going to read our acknowledgements. And I believe Manny already has it up. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. This is Taylor X. At this time, we want to take a moment to reflect on the lands on which we reside. We are coming from many places and acknowledge the ancestral homelands and traditional territories of Indigenous people who have been here since time immemorial, and to recognize that they are still here, fighting for human rights, for land and their culture. It is important to not only honor the legacy and lives of the original caretakers of this land, but to continue to build our solidarity with Native peoples across the Americas and across the globe. I am in North Hollywood, California, and I acknowledge and honor the land of the Chumash, the Tongva, the Fernandino, and the Tanaviam. Please take a moment to acknowledge the Indigenous people in the lands where you are located in the chat. Thank you. Also, we'd like to take this time to acknowledge and honor the many paths and beliefs represented here. We honor all religions, philosophies, ideologies, belief systems, healing modalities, and spiritual perspectives. We honor the life experience and wisdom you have brought here today. We respect you and welcome you into this brave space. And we emphatically state that disrespect, prejudice, discrimination of any kind has no place here. We empower one another through respect, through strength, and to be true revolutionaries of love and justice. We see you, we hear you, we love you. And if you have a path, faith, tradition, belief system, please feel free to share it in the chat so we can get to know you better. I'd like to thank everyone for sharing the memes for the service, and we are growing with lovely people from all across the country and around the globe. Again, feel free to copy these memes and share them at will. At Roll, there is one thing we want everyone here and on Facebook to know, and I mean really know this, deep down to the marrow in your bones, that you are somebody, you are important, you are a big deal, and you matter. We see you, we hear you, and we love you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Rev.
Thank you so much. We're going to keep it right on moving to Manny Figueroa on our new improved mission and vision statement. Thank you, Taylor X.
Indeed. Thank you, Taylor X. And for everyone, really engaging in the chat there. I loved seeing all of that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And my name is Manny Figueroa. If for those who may not know or be familiar, I am a services and support minister here at the Revolution of Love. And my pronouns are he, him. And we've got some statements here. So starting with the mission statement, the Revolution of Love ministry movement to create courageous, multi-path communities through healing services, educational offerings, and the study and practice of abolition for dynamic inner and outer transformation. As for the vision statement, we seek to bring hope, inspiration, education, and action to every agent in the world. If you're breathing, you are a change agent. We welcome all of who you are, what you look like, where you come from, who you love, and we love you. The time is now. This is the revolution. And I also just wanted to take a quick moment to, and I know we don't have as many announcements these days, but there is something I'd like to bring up. And as you know, we kind of have like 2 services per month. And so the next one will be this 24th of April. So mark your calendars for that. This next one will be just like the one we had last time, actually. Well, not directly last time, but I think it was 2 times ago. The Art of Resistance, where we invite you to just feel free to bring whatever it is, kind of resonates with you in the form of art. It can be music, poetry, anything that really calls you to really share with the role community. So I believe that I'll be doing something. I'm looking forward to it. I know we had a lot of involvement last time, and it was really amazing to see everybody share. So again, April 24th, be there. And back to you, Ref.
Thank you so much. So we're all clear, right? 2 weeks, Art is Resistance. That way we can, hear from all of you and making sure that it is something in the realm of agitation and change making and resistance, rebellion, revolution. Why are my fists in the air? It's the laugh track. Okay. I said I was going to get a laugh track and I got one. So, okay. So blessings, everybody. My name, once again, if you're just tuning in, if you're just seeing this on Facebook, Reverend Felicia Parazaider. You heard from Taylor X already. You just heard from Manny Figueroa, and you'll be hearing from Leslie D. Judd in a moment. I'll be telling you some more about her. She's blessing us again tonight. Yes. Come on, let's see it. Let's see it. Okay. So again, my pronouns, she, her, hers, they, them, theirs. What else do I have to tell you? I'm grateful we are here together. I know that, Zoom is something almost like now of the past. Nobody wants to be on Zoom, but here we are. And I give praises up to the Most High that we continue to do these services and that you all continue to show up. Because here's the thing, consistency does matter. It's really important to have community, even if it's from afar like this, to recognize that we are still connecting in a very deep way if we choose, if we are intentional about this space and lighting a candle and setting the tone and praying and utilizing the chat. This is an important spiritual practice, my friends. Let us not overlook that. Let's not overlook that. And I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there. So grateful that we are here together tonight in this holy way. Remembering that we are multipath. So I always like to remind that and amplify that. We are multipath. So pretty much, at whatever you believe, we do welcome, as long as you're not enabling or complicit with hatred and violence. Then what do we say? Bye, that doesn't work. We've made an active commitment here to educate ourselves and to continue to dismantle in our own selves any violence or hatred or oppression, as well as getting out there and doing the change in the world. Tonight's talk is going to be a little different. It will be more of a exegesis, an exegesis on, well, you'll get to know, you'll hear the question in a moment. Yes. Okay. So my friends, I'm very blessed that I'm very grateful that Leslie D. Judd is back with us, as I said, and I would love to tell you some more about her. And I think Manny might be putting up some links so you can get into further connection with her and her music. So here we go. Here we go. Leslie is on a long journey, a vision quest, which may or not be completed in this lifetime. Nonetheless, she must write like she must breathe. She has traveled with the winds on wings of time. She has passed through many lifetimes, holding each soul's memory near and dear. Leslie has been writing music on paper since she was 12 and making up songs way before then. She has always been a composer supporting the greater cause. She's an organizer, right and left brain born. What is important to her is that when stages are available, she strongly believes they are to be shared. All of our voices must be heard. Leslie is a board member of Women in the Arts, Inc., National Women's Musical Festival, which is a 501c3, and co-produces National Women's Music Festival with 3 other board members. The 46th National Women's Music Festival is going to be held in July of this year in Madison, Wisconsin. She is currently, and please listen, she is currently composing a string orchestra piece, and I said piece, P-E-A-C-E, entitled 3 Movements Towards Peace, based on her There Will Be Peace improvisational CD. So please let us really open our hearts and allow the experience that is going to come through Leslie to fully lift us. Leslie.
Broken windows, empty hallways, pale dead moon in the sky streaked with gray, human kindness overflowing, and I think it's going to rain. Scarecrows dressed in latest styles, with frozen smile to keep love away. Human kindness so overflowing, and I think it's going to rain. Today, lonely, lonely, tin can at my feet, think I'll kick it down the street. That's the way to treat a friend. Right before me, the signs implore me, help the needy and show them the way. Human kindness so overflowing, and I think it's going to rain. Lonely, lonely, tin can at my feet, think I'll kick it down the street. That's the way to treat a friend. And I think it's going to rain.
Leslie, would you just give us a little taste more of that, just to wherever you want from?
Tin can at my feet, think I'll kick it down the street. Is that the way to treat a friend? The song is by Randy Newman, who has the ultimate of tongue-in-cheek irony.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Everybody, let's please show Leslie some love and kindness. How about that? Some kindness. Okay, let us breathe, my friends, as we really receive that blessing. We breathe in now, please. And if there is some place where you feel like you need maybe some extra love, an extra touch of kindness, if you'd like to put your hand over your heart, or maybe over your face, or on the top of your head, maybe even give yourself a hug, please feel free to do that. Touch is so important. So I invite us into a journey right now, my friends, a journey and an experience. Continue, I should say, continue this experience that began however many minutes ago, and we just keep going a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper still. And so let us open our minds and open our hearts. I invite you into that place of openness with each other. And so perhaps, as we've done before, we haven't done this in a little while, maybe just happen to look at one of the Zoom boxes. Maybe it's someone next to you. Maybe write something in the chat right now, someone's name, and send some love. And let's push past so many of the restrictions that we often have of what is the way to properly or appropriately act. You know, forget that. And so maybe you say to someone, you message them right now and tell them you love them from the highest place. In this place of experience, my friends, I want to pose a question tonight that I don't think in all the years of preaching or teaching or giving talks and sermons I have ever asked. Everything that Revolution of Love is, and everything that we rally and center around, is basically around the question, will we be better humans? Which presupposes that we can be. And if you think about it, most every talk that you've heard here, even all of the bells and whistles of different formats, is all about change. It's all about creating change for you. Remember the toy. Change within that inner work, and then change without, or change outside of ourselves. And so there's this very big impetus and belief and blessings. As someone is, there is a siren going by, we send blessings. There is this concrete belief that not only can we change, but it's just a matter of how fiercely dedicated and committed we will be to said change. And so there's the tools, right? Think about the Hope Cycle, think about the Vision Statement series and all of the different tools and identifying the obstacles. Remember, there was sermon after sermon about the distractions from society. And then I said, it's not really distractions, is it? It's actually the different forms of violence that maybe society has inflicted or culture has inflicted upon you and us. as well as the childhood wounds that you have experienced. But at the end of the day, there is always this resolute belief or plan of action for the change. So I want to take us backwards. We're going to go back. And that is to ask this question: can we be better humans? Can we be better humans? Now, the reason I have not given talks about this is not only because, for the most part, many days I just believe that we can. But it's also, think about it. Think about it. Spiritual and religious circles really quickly go over that question of can we be better humans? It's something we circumvent. You know why? You know why? And this is why this is my belief on why. Because it's uncomfortable. Because it connotes doubt. By simply merely asking the question, can we be better humans? It implies that we don't know if we can. It implies potential of despair that we might be feeling. Oh God, can we? It implies, and this is the big one, grief. Oh, and God forbid that we should actually sink into despair or grief. God forbid we should actually touch that or sink into grief. Because then what are we going to do? What if we never come out of it? What if we just keep sinking? You're probably thinking right about now, I really wanted to feel good tonight. And I didn't really want to hear about, can we be better? I want to hear, we will be better. And let's commit. But you know what? Here is the magnificent piece of this question of, can we be better humans? And sitting in this uncomfortable, messy, maybe doubtful, grief-stricken, heartbroken place. There is power here. There is a power in asking, can we be better humans? And keep going with it. Can our lives get better? Can my life? Can your life? Can we change? We talk about, this toy is almost kind of a funny thing now. If I do this inner work, can my life change? And therefore, if we do this outer work, can the world really be better? The planet that is in such peril, and the violence that we see, and the war that is going on in Ukraine, all of the different things, can this turn around? Can it? So I want people to come off mute right now. And I want us to sit in this void. This is the place, the juicy, juicy place of the void that invites us into the unknown, where we go, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be honest. Can we be better humans? Now you. Share honestly.
I just wrote down a response to what you were in your own way expressing, that many fear that if they go to their grief or the origin of their pain, that they won't be able to escape. And unfortunately, if people believe that more than they believe in the possibility of healing, and people do tend to fear that whole process, then we don't have an opportunity to evolve and to become whole, because feeling the depth of that grief is just as important as the height of the joy. And unfortunately, so much in this society, and in media, on the TV and so on, it's all about what's funny, what's better, without really investigating how you do become better. And I really appreciate your topic tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. I appreciate that response. Let's hear more responses. Can we be better humans? There's no right or wrong answer. Let's get real with it. I see Evie has a hand raised.
I have a different phoneticism going today. It's an upbeat, hopeful, saw a great property, and I think it's going to be mine. But what I know is that I am better than I was. And if that is true, then I do believe we all can be better. Just simple.
Thank you, Evie. Thank you. Others, can we be better humans? Who else would like to speak on this?
Reverend Felicia,
Leslie.
I do believe we can be better. It's a work in progress. I do think some people are afraid of failure. That's why maybe they don't want to attempt, why they don't want to try. But I truly do believe that we can be better.
Thank you, Tamala. Good to see you. Welcome. And I
Thank
see,
you.
yes, I see David and Margaret. One of them has a hand up, or maybe both.
So, well, I at least have my hand up. I don't know about Margaret. I'm going to answer this kind of coming through the back door. So I want to say yes. And I want to say yes because this week I made one of the most disastrous missteps and deeply ruptured a relationship. And in processing it with my therapist, I can see what some of the roots are, and I have some modest, humble hope to put things at least right inside me. I can't say that I have any hope that the relationship is going to heal, maybe ever. And so because this week I discovered in a utterly painful way that we can be worse people, from the depths of that, I am also desperately confident that we can be better people as well.
Thank you, David. Blessings to you in that experience. Margaret?
Yeah, I think I'll jump in since we're unmuted. In my core, I do believe that we can be better, but I do think that there are, that can be a long journey, that there can be challenges to that. A number of years ago when I was married to my first husband, a friend of mine made a statement to me that I have never forgotten. And it kind of sums up some of what you were talking about, Rev, is that this friend said, no matter how shitty, there's no place like home, meaning that that's what you know. That's what you know. That's maybe what you expect. To piggyback on Nancy's idea that, it takes that fear, or you hold on to that fear of change because the fear is what you know. And so to step out of that, to step forward, to step inward, takes courage. It takes strength. It takes desire. It takes willpower. And sometimes, you just don't have it in that moment. So I do believe that you can move into and through and beyond, but I do think that there are times when people stay where they are because it's what they know and they can hold on to that. And that isn't always healthy, but it is. And so, we just have to offer our love to them in that moment and in those moments when they might be willing to step outside of that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to shift this in case. Does your answer change if I ask the question in this way? Can we be better humans in the realm of change? In other words, are we going to change all of the things that Revolution of Love talks about, the different forms of violence and the different injustices and all of the peril on this planet, in the society, in the culture, on and on and on? Can we turn that around? Does your answer shift in that way? Yes, Rob.
Thanks, Rev. My answer becomes more resolute with that question because, when you asked the first question, I thought it was very open-ended. Can we be better? Can I be a better person? Can we be better people? And I think that it all comes down to what you define as better. I mean, how do you define the term better? How do we define the term better? I mean, and who's to say what is better? Who's going to be the arbiter of betterness? But if you pose the question much more specifically, can we be change agents in the world and create a world of peace and justice and abolition and all the other ideals that we're striving toward here? Then the question, I think, becomes much more focused and specific, and I feel more confident to say yes, although with the caveat that it will be a very difficult and challenging road to be sure. But I think that specifying what better means, I think, is very important to the outcome of the question.
And it was intentional. Thank you so much, Rob. It was intentionally left open for people's imaginations to toy and kind of play and dance with. So anyone else want to speak on that? I think Evie's got her hand raised on this. So Evie.
Thank you. What I'm seeing from that point of view is that we are laying a groundwork when we work on ourselves. The cornerstone, so to speak. And we may not see the results of our personal being better, but that it encourages people down the line. We keep encouraging people to be better, to believe that they can be better, and to believe that that will help the world be better. Just to minimize it a little. I think that that's where I motivate from, is being that cornerstone and helping people see that we can make change, but first we need to start with ourselves.
Wonderful. Thank you, Evie. Thank you. And Judy. I see Judy and raised.
I hope the sound works. My internet is awful. I'm sorry if it messes up.
We can hear you.
I was just gonna say, I heard an interview with some family members recently where they were asked where they would be in 5 years. And one of them, two of them actually said, I will be a work in progress. The idea is just that always trying and knowing you're not always going to hit the mark. And I like that. And the other thing is when you turned the question around, it made me think of when I worked in animal rescue, and that every day that I drove the van, anywhere from 30 to 70 cats would come home the next day fixed. To me, that was huge because I know every single female cat that is fixed. I know that there's a mathematical equation that can show in 7 years how many cats that cat can produce potentially. And so I knew that that many cats would not be suffering. But I also knew that there's no way in my lifetime, this problem of animals that are domesticated and then just let run loose and just having more animals that suffer all the time, this problem is not going to be solved. But I was never going to give up. I will always be thankful for every cat I did. So it's not like everybody's going to be changing for the better, but that doesn't mean each of us can't try. It's the only way to have it happen.
Right. Great. Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts and your words, Judy. And I see Leslie.
Keep going back to song lyrics. And I do know that change comes from changing our thoughts. And I believe we can be better individually and as culturally. And Evie is, spot on to say that we may not see it in our lifetime, but that doesn't mean we should stop going forward. This is odd because on my website last night, as I was playing around with it, I picked out an old lyric of mine to fill space, and it's choices, and then we make changes, take the chance to rise and fall and pick ourselves up again. So it's a persistence. It's like the drop of water on the stone that eventually that stone will wear away because it needs to wear away. If it doesn't need to wear away, it'll stay there. But anyhow, that's a songwriter's perspective.
Thank you, Leslie. Thanks so much. So all of the, oh, I heard someone come off mute.
I believe there's a Nancy actually, and then Jenny next.
Thank you. Something that's important to me when I'm teaching my students is to remind them and to remind all of us that we have more potential than we can even imagine. That to think we know our potential is stopping our potential. And so we are already beautiful. We are already full of all of this love and potential and kindness and ability to change and to be heroic and to imagine new possibilities. And I think it's important to say that we are already better if we allow ourselves to be. Part of it is giving ourselves permission to find out just how much better we can be and how much better the world can be. Thank you.
Okay, we only have time for one more, so just so was there someone else?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jenny.
Okay. These last several weeks and into this week has been the period of Lent for Christians. And this week leading to next Sunday is called Holy Week. It's a time to be contemplative and to think also about, in some ways, the word repent which people think sometimes of a soapbox preacher, somebody on the corner shouting, but repent means, if you think about it, is to rethink. Pent meaning think. So it's not to browbeat yourself necessarily or think that you are nothing but the bottom of your sandals. Rethinking means to look in other directions, look for the light, look for the hope, and look for the love.
Thank you. That actually dovetails very nicely into some of the things that I want to amplify before we lift out. So thank you, Jenny, and thank you everybody for your insights and your wisdom. There are times where, and I would really encourage us all right now to remember the times where we haven't had this much hope, where there is a feeling of bleakness, a feeling of looking around, whether it's at your life or around you, witnessing, viewing events that are happening in real time, where we think, I don't know what is going to happen here. And it is in those times, in that place of grief and uncomfortability and doubt and possibly despair, that we need to listen. And one of the ways that, whether we're feeling the grief or the praise, the hope or the despair, however this finds you tonight, whatever place, if there were to be a spectrum, however it finds you tonight, the more we nurture the parts of ourselves that have been shut down, that have been silenced, that have been unheard, whether it's been due to your own personal pain or something that you have witnessed and experienced in the collective, however or whatever it's from, it is imperative to listen. It is imperative to lean in and nurture. And so the part right now that I'm going to say is that when there is grief, that grief must be heard. That grief must be listened to. That grief must be sat with. Because it begins to tell us about not only who we are, but why we are here. And there is a certain resolve, and that might have been the word that Rob said, but there is a certain resolve that we are invited into once again. So if and when there is a moment where you're feeling so maybe despondent about life as we know it, whether it's internally or externally, go to those places. Go to that place, maybe it is a certain place, maybe it is a certain wound, and listen to it. Give credence to it. Before we go rushing off into the will we be better humans and however other questions that can flow from that, we need to first sit with the can we. And so this is where I want to sink one more layer from this place of nurturing, because there's no way I can avoid this. And I know we're multipath. But this is where we got to meet God. However you understand God, if it's a higher self, if it's a tree branch, if it's a goddess, if it's whatever. But there is this invitation in this place of perhaps, can we? I don't know. I'm not sure. The doubt, the despair, the grief that comes maybe like a thief in the night, maybe at 3 a.m, maybe when we look at the planet and we see all the horrible degradation that's going on, or maybe we make a mistake in our lives. All of that, it's time to remember and go back to God, to go back to the holy. This is a Holy Week. There's so many different things happening. And you know, Palm Sunday, this is an incredible day, right? In the Christian tradition, everybody's rejoicing. Here comes Jesus. Here he comes in. Everyone's got the palm fronds and they're all cheering. And then what happens? They turn on him. And isn't this so true about how we as humans can be? We can have that hope and all of this wonder and this curiosity, and then something shakes us, and it may be something very valid. And then we lose that footing. And we're not quite so resolute. We're not quite so there. And this is all the more reason, like I said, to come back into a place of real, true nurturement, to listen to the grief. Don't avoid it. In fact, it's a great time if one is even feeling good and feeling the praise and feeling the joy in life, then hey, if you're in a surplus, then lean into this equivocating question of can we, and see what comes. And why is this important? I don't know if it necessarily matters if we can or not, if we can be better humans as individuals, as a society, as a culture, if any of this is going to change. I don't know if we will see a positive peace and we'll see transformative justice and abolition in 10 years, 20 years, 30, I don't know. But does it mean we stop trying? Does it mean we stop doing the work? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do we even get that right? In the grief, in the cave, there is an invitation to sit and listen. And there's a voice there that reminds us about the magic of transformation. Because when we heal these parts that have been hurt, that have been wounded, that have been ignored or unheard, like I said, or silenced, when we heal those parts, oh, it's like the wonder of a child. It's like the magic comes back. And we begin to believe in a deeper way, in a stronger way. And if nothing else, there is a courage and a resilience that is fostered. So sit with this question. Can we be better humans? And you can take that any way you want. You can imagine it, play with it any way we want. But the main point, my friends, tonight is to sit in the void and to allow oneself to be uncomfortable. And in that place, see what we are made of. let us not go too quickly into that good night, as the saying goes. I send you love and I send you blessings and prayers right now. Let us pray together. And please put prayers in the chat. If you would like a prayer request, you can do so, and please, you can put that in the chat. Holy One, thanking you for your presence here tonight and giving thanks for each and every person here. Allow us to have even more bravery and courage to ask questions that are uncomfortable, that to sit in the messiness, to sit in the void, to not tarry too quickly, to not avoid anything, remembering that we have to be spiritual warriors in this process, that we are here to hold many truths, maybe at the same time. And so a blessing upon each and every person as they are doing the good works on themselves in the way that they see fit, be it solely on the inner plane and their inner spiritual plane, or in their communities, however that looks. Blessings upon their hearts and their minds and their bodies, lifting up prayers for healings in all ways, for the physical body for people here, as well as the emotional body, as well as the mental, as well as the spiritual, the highest level, the highest form. May we remember all of these different levels that are working together, and that no hurt, harm, or danger can come near this resting place. May all of this continue to work together for people's highest good. And so now, lifting up a prayer request for Kirsten on behalf of Rob. And so we lift up Kirsten and praying that she is well, praying that she is healing, and knowing that healing happens no matter what. Yes. Praying for our unhoused family on the streets, prayers for their well-being, prayers for their sustainability. Also lifting up a prayer right now for Los Angeles, for the hotel workers that are fighting for a fair living wage, for a just living wage. And prayers for all of our communities, different religious communities and families that sit in different circles. And I'll hold here for another moment. If there are any prayer requests, I will wait just for a second. Okay, and so closing up this prayer time and giving thanks, and let us take a breath, breathing in, and then the exhale. And so again, Holy One, sustainability and strength for these lovely people and their precious souls. May they feel good, may they feel at peace, and may they have a good rest of the evening. May we continue to focus on you and keep our gaze forever sturdy and our feet on the ground. And the people said, Amen, Amen, Ashe, and Aho. Leslie, please. Blessings. Thank you so much, Leslie. Let's hear it for Leslie. Thank you very, very much. That concludes our service for the evening. So please take good care of yourselves. Be rich in love. Go with God, and just all grace and love to you from the highest place. Yes. We will see you in 2 weeks for Art is Resistance. So